Rambam. We are in the laws of forbidden foods. Excuse me. We continue with the laws of Yayin Nesach, wine that has a special status because it's used, to sanctify Shabbos and holidays. So it has a special place. And excuse me. There's more limitations, parameters based on that. So we're in chapter 11. So when wine has been poured as a libation to a false divinity, right? Meaning it's been used for idolatry, the wine. So just like we use it for holy purposes, it's used, by others, also in a form of their worship. But since it's being used as a libation for false divinity, it is forbidden to benefit from it. A person who drinks in the smallest quantity of such wine is liable for lashes according to scriptural law. That's a biblical law. Similarly, anyone who partakes of the smallest quantity of something offered to false deities, meat or fruit, even water or salt, is worthy of lashes, implied by the verse, and the fat of those offerings they would eat, they would drink the wine of their libations. Let them stand. Wine poured as a libation to a false deity is like a sacrifice offered to it, right? Because it's part of the sacrifice. So it's the same thing. My spring allergies are persisting. Huh?
What's going on? 2 weeks up to this in the summer.
Since this prohibition stems from the prohibition against worship of false deities, there's no measure involved. State regarding worship of false deities, let no trace of the condemned entity cling to your hand. So in Jewish law, everything has a measure to it, right? Um, we speak about kazayas, an olive size, right? Which is about 3 ounces of liquid. So there's parameters to all the laws. But here, there is no parameter. Because when it comes to idolatry, um, the smallest amount of it needs to be um, no trace of. Huh?
Avoid it.
No trace? Yeah, exactly. Yep. Number three, when we do not know whether the wine belonging to a non-Jew was used for a libation or not, it's called ordinary non-Jewish wine. It's called stam yena. Right? It is forbidden to benefit from it, as it is forbidden to benefit from wine used for libation. This matter is a rabbinic decree. So the other one was a biblical law. This is a rabbinic law, right? Why? Because we're not certain, right? This matter is a rabbinic decree. When a person drinks a revius of the ordinary non-Jewish wine, he is liable for stripes for rebellious conduct. Excuse me. Right. Again, rabbinic law. It is forbidden to benefit from any wine that non-Jews touches, for perhaps he poured it for libation. So, right, that's, and by the way, I'm not certain if it's here, but that's speaking of only wine that's not mevushal. That's why we make mevushal wine. Mevushal means that it's been cooked, meaning it's been heated up, as opposed to wine that's just in the barrel and from the barrel taken, right? Mevushal means it's been heated up to a certain temperature. And then back in the day in idolatry, it was not used.
The heated wine.
The heated wine was not used. So that is not a problem, right? That's not a problem. The only kind that was used for idolatry was the non-mevushal, right? And therefore, since we don't know what and you have to understand, back in the day, even though today it's probably unusual, but the law is still the law, that a non-Jew is going to touch the non-mevushal wine, that they're going to be thinking about, oh, look, I got this wine. Let me use it for, a libation for my idolatry. Very unlikely. But it's possible that they, oh, this is a sacrament wine. Let I, someone, that they would want to use it for some kind of a sacrament of in idol that something that would be idolatrous for a Jew to serve, right? So yeah, so today we're careful and we buy wine that's mevushal, and that therefore these laws don't apply because again, the mevushal wine was not used for libation. It was I'm not exactly. I guess it's not doesn't have the same purity in in spirit. I don't think that that means in physically. I don't mean in a physical sense, but that's the way it was, and that's what the law is based on. Now, here we're talking about that we don't know what their intent was, right? So that's called ordinary wine. If it was to used, handled by a non-Jew to use it for a libation, then that's biblical law, right? It is forbidden to benefit from the wife of a non-Jew touches it, perhaps he imported for a libation. It is thought of a non-Jew as focused on worship of false deities. And this we learn from forbidden to benefit even from the wine belonging to a Jew, which was touched by a non-Jew. His government laws apply to ordinary non-Jewish wine. Yeah. Okay. It's a little crazy times right now. Oh Hashem, all good things. We have our Chabad Lifeline matching campaign Sunday, Monday. We'll have the class, but it's a little over my head right now. Baruch Hashem. So we will continue. Thank you, folks. Have a great day. Good Shabbos.